Hey Lou, Lawrence, does Wendy still call you Lou? It's Alex, as you know. I began writing an email to you, and I realized it was going to be a long one. So sometimes when I write a long email, I use this. I use YouTube, which is quite handy. John, it's been a long time, hasn't it? Well, as I was saying in the email, I had an accident in southern Thailand, in a town near the Malaysian border where I was living. I lived in Asia for a couple of years. I lived in Thailand for 2 years. I also spent 7 months in Taipei, Taiwan. Uh, I left the tourism in 2003. Things had gotten just horrible. 2002 was a good year because they still had clients in the pipeline, and the British company that I worked for, Titan, uh, the senior citizens would book a year or two in advance to get the lower prices. And then by the time 2003 came around, it was just a nightmare with the riffraff clientele, and I was fed up with everything. So I took off to teach English in Thailand and in Taiwan. And that was in summer of 2004, autumn 2004. And started with Taiwan and lived in Taipei for 7 months, like I said. And I went broke there. It was awful. What I didn't know about teaching in Asia was that in certain countries, particularly Taiwan, Japan, and Korea, the Far East, they don't hire anybody over 40 unless you've got tenure, a university professor, that sort of thing. And I had gotten my TEFL in Thailand through a British school that tortured us for about a month on grammar and the rest of it. Um, and so I went back to Thailand, a country I was truly happy to be in. And, uh, and there too, there was rampant corruption with some of the schools. It was tough to keep an even keel. So I wound up in the south at a place called Hat Yai that I'd been to before, about 60 clicks from the Malaysian border. And of course, you've seen images of Asia, millions of scooters all over the streets, these Honda 100cc bikes. I bought one. It was basically the only way to get around on time. Uh, the transport is cheap there. You can get in the back of a pickup for 15 cents or whatever it is, but it's slow going, even to go a mile. So I got the bike. I had it for 7 months, and one morning, it was a Wednesday morning. I was teaching at noon. I got up early. There was a rainstorm, and I lived on the fifth floor of this really nice building with a glass elevator and everything else. It was quite swank for the neighborhood that I was in. And had coffee, and the apartment I had, usually Asian apartments for singles, a one studio. They don't have kitchens, but food is so prevalent. You just go out in the street and they have food stands everywhere, and the food is, out of this world for $1 or two. So I went and got some food about a mile away, and it was raining. And I put it in my basket, and all I remember was getting on the bike, wiping the seat, getting on the bike, feeling exhausted, tired. Started it up, went around the corner, went around the other corner to go up the one-way street because the one I was on was also a one-way street going down. I needed to go back up. That's the last I remember. And it appears that I wiped out. Something would have caused me to wipe out. I drove the bike for 7 months. 3 months in Bangkok, believe it or not, and nothing scarier than driving in Bangkok or anywhere in an Asian city, and I did quite well. I could handle it. But the rain and these skinny tires, and somebody must have cut me off because I hit the brake. And I hit the brake and obviously lost control and went down and popped. I had a helmet on, and I popped my head uh, just enough to snap my neck and snap the spinal cord, which has left me a quadriplegic. I'm a C3, which is quite high. Christopher Reeves was a C2, and he had bookends on each side of his head because he couldn't do what I'm doing now. But I'm paralyzed from the shoulders down. I'm a complete tetraplegic, which means even the body's paralyzed. My abdominal muscles. I can't tell you the hell that it's been. But I've got accustomed to being handicapped. That isn't the end of the world for me. You find out what you're made of when something like this happens to you. And I guess I'm pretty tough. But I live in a place called Saint-Charles-Borromée in Quebec. It's Montreal. It's just one block east of Saint Laurent, the corner of Saint Dominic and René Lévesque. And it's just a nightmare. It's just an absolute bloody nightmare. It's filled with Haitians. My life is filled with Haitians. And I've been here ever since. My phone number is 514-687-0166. I'll send you that by email. So you're wondering how am I manipulating the computer if I'm paralyzed from the neck down. You see this silly dot that I'm wearing on my head? It's a little dot made of 3M tape, 3M reflective tape. The stuff you see on firemen and policemen, cyclists, that sort of thing. And I've got this unit, it looks like a webcam. It's an infrared light that shines on my forehead. And the beam is bounced back to the screen, and there's my mouse, and that's how I manipulate Windows and even Linux now. So I'm on my computer all the time. It's the only thing in my life I can control. I get fed, washed, and all the rest of it. I've lost all my freedoms. So there you have it in a nutshell. If you're in Montreal, do come by. Let me know. And it's been a good long time. God, it's been a long time, yeah. What else can I say? I'm institutionalized. And that's it for the rest of my life. But although I'm fine. I mean, I'm not, the worst of it's behind me. The depressions, the suicidal tendencies. You wouldn't believe what happens to you when something like this. It is indescribable the hell you have to go through to come out of it, and to accept it. So, all right, that's it for now. So, take care. Keep in touch. Bye.